Good day and welcome. If you're currently living and working in the UK with hopes of settling here permanently, this is a report you cannot afford to overlook. For many, indefinite leave to remain, or ILR, represents the final hurdle, the key to staying in the UK without time limits on living, working, or studying. It's often the gateway to British citizenship, but in 2025, the road to ILR is changing and not in ways that make it easier. With the government intensifying efforts to reduce net migration, we are now witnessing substantial shifts in immigration policy. These aren't small adjustments, they're deep-rooted changes that could significantly alter your future. The UK. So, is securing ILR in 2025 becoming harder? The answer is a clear yes, but there's no need to panic. In this video, we'll unpack the 5 most critical challenges you need to know about and, more importantly, how you can begin preparing now. Let's begin with perhaps the most talked about proposal extending the qualifying period for settlement from 5 to 10 years. Traditionally, most individuals on work or family visa routes have become eligible for ILR after 5 years. But a major policy paper released in May 2025 signals the government's intent to double that period. This would be a major change affecting families, careers, and long-term planning. Picture building your life around a 5-year pathway only to discover that the goalpost has moved a full 5 years further. There is discussion of introducing an earned settlement system where applicants might qualify earlier by accumulating points based on their contributions to the UK economy and society. However, no clear framework has been shared, yet no criteria, no point thresholds, and no timeline for implementation. It's important to emphasize this proposal is not yet law. It's part of a white paper and early policy outline and will go through a consultation process. Still, it offers the clearest indication of the government's direction so far. For those just starting out or midway through the current 5-year process, this uncertainty adds real pressure. Some immigration experts even caution that such changes could apply retroactively, affecting people who are already on an active visa path. This is a policy area to watch very closely. Next, let's talk money. One of the government's stated goals is ensuring that anyone granted permanent settlement can support themselves without relying on public funds. To enforce this, new financial criteria are being introduced, with salary thresholds playing a central role. If you're on a skilled worker visa, the change is especially significant. As of July 22, 2025, the minimum salary requirement for new applicants is increasing from £38,700 to £41,700. But here's what really matters for those applying for ILR. Even if your initial visa was approved under the older salary threshold, you'll still be required to meet the new, higher salary bar when applying for settlement. There's no grace period. Your employer must confirm that your pay meets or exceeds the updated amount, otherwise, your ILR application could be denied. This tightening isn't limited to workers alone. Those on family visas have already faced major changes. In April 2024, the income requirement for sponsoring a spouse or partner was raised dramatically from £18,600 to £29,000 per year. That figure remains in effect in 2025 and continues to pose a significant challenge for many British citizens seeking to bring foreign partners to live with them. For countless applicants, these income-based changes will make ILR more difficult to attain regardless of their contributions to society or the length of time they've spent in the UK. And that's just the beginning. In the next segments, we'll explore 3 more major developments shaping the future of settlement in the UK, including changes to job classification, English language requirements, and the rising costs of application fees. If you're planning to stay in the UK long-term, staying informed is no longer optional. It's essential. Make sure to subscribe and stay with us as we guide you through the rest of the evolving ILR landscape and what steps you can take today to secure your future. Starting July 22, 2025, the bar for skilled worker visas is rising significantly. Under new Home Office rules, the job you're applying for must now meet RQF Level 6, which aligns with a bachelor's degree qualification. This is a steep leap from the previous standard RQF Level 3, equivalent to a dash levels. This policy shift has serious consequences. Around 180 occupations, many of them in logistics, hospitality, and frontline services, have been removed from eligibility, and for workers in social care, the window has effectively closed. The government has officially shut down the health and care worker visa route for new overseas applicants in that sector. While those already in the UK can still renew their existing visas, new applications will no longer be accepted. So, what does this mean for individuals seeking indefinite leave to remain ILR? For many, the journey towards settlement now ends. Before it even begins, without a qualifying visa, the door to ILR stays firmly shut. These changes are part of the government's broader push to pivot the economy toward high-wage, high-skilled labor, but they also leave behind thousands of essential workers who contribute every day to the UK's social fabric. Segment title: Long Residence Route, New Rules, New Risks. If you're counting on the 10-year long residence route to qualify for ILR, you should be aware the rules have already become stricter. Previously, applicants could be away from the UK for up to 548 days over 10 years. That flexibility is gone. As of April 2024, you must now not exceed 180 days abroad within any rolling 12-month period. Just one extended trip outside the UK could reset your timeline entirely, but there's more. A new condition introduced alongside this change requires that you must have held your current visa for at least 12 months before applying under the long residence route. Imagine living in the UK for a full decade, only to switch visas 6 months before applying under the new policy. You'll have to wait an additional 6 months before you can submit your application. Even more importantly, your qualifying residence must now be continuous, so you can no longer rely on a past 10-year period. The clock must lead right up to the date of your application, without gaps. These aren't minor details. They turn what was once a safety net into a tightrope, requiring meticulous planning and discipline. Segment title: The Good Character Test, Tougher Than Ever. In another critical update, the Home Office has toughened its stance on immigration history and character requirements. In February 2025, new guidance was issued that fundamentally changes how good character is assessed, especially for those applying for British citizenship, though it has implications for ILR as well. Under the updated rules, anyone who has ever entered the UK illegally will now typically be refused citizenship, regardless of how long ago the breach occurred. Previously, only violations within the past 10 years were taken into account. This change has raised serious concerns, particularly for refugees and asylum seekers, many of whom had no other means to reach safety in the UK. While this exact rule targets citizenship applications, remember, the good character test is a key component of ILR2. Even a minor or historic breach of immigration law may now attract increased scrutiny. It reflects a broader, more punitive shift in how applications are assessed, signaling less flexibility and stricter decision-making across the board. Segment title: Your 5-point action plan. The landscape for ILR is changing, but knowledge is power. Here are 5 key steps you can take now to give yourself the best possible chance of success. Budget wisely. The ILR application fee has surpassed £3,000, and income thresholds are rising. Whether you're on a skilled worker visa or another route, start saving now. Discuss future salary expectations with your employer well in advance. Track every absence. The 180-day rule is unforgiving. Keep a precise, date-stamp log of every trip you take outside the UK. Don't rely on memory. This is a case where a simple spreadsheet can prevent a rejected application. Maintain flawless documentation. You carry the burden of proof. That means keeping all official documents, pay slips, bank statements, contracts, tenancy agreements, and council tax bills well organized and secure. Sort them chronologically. For easy reference, don't delay if you're eligible. If you currently meet all ILR criteria, consider applying sooner rather than later. Waiting could mean falling under stricter new rules, such as longer qualifying periods or even higher income thresholds. Seek legal guidance. Immigration law is complex and constantly evolving. Booking a consultation with a regulated immigration advisor or solicitor could make all the difference. A professional can evaluate your case under the latest regulations and help you spot potential issues before they become problems. Final remarks. Professionals sign off. The path to indefinite leave to remain in 2025 has become considerably more demanding. From proposed 10-year settlement timelines to rising salary and skill thresholds and stricter character assessments, the challenges are real, but with the right information, strategic planning, and timely action, you can still reach your goal. If you found this report helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others navigating the same journey. Drop your questions in the comments below. We're here to keep you informed every step of the way.